Hi everyone, this week we are going to be looking at the use of footprints in forensic investigation as a part of our second last video in the crime scene evidence series. Footprint markings were found on the paper directly behind the table. Do they contain a lot of information? Let's find out. Have a think about the types of evidence you might be able to recover from those footprints. If you want, feel free to pause this video and take down some notes. Here we have two prints side by side. What you might notice is that the style of the print is the same, and so this might suggest it belongs to the same individual, but it might not. Key comparisons can be size of footprint, i.e. the length and width, and you can also make measurements of the pattern on the sole. Another footprint was also found. Notice anything different? The print on the right hand side is completely different to the one on the left. This indicates that there were at least two assailants involved. We wouldn't have known this unless DNA analysis or fingerprints revealed it later in the investigation. So what information can we learn from footprints left at the scene? The first is the number of assailants. We know there are at least two from the two different prints. If the print is in good condition, we can work out the shoe size by measuring the dimensions. In 2007, the UK initiated a footprint system that showcased the sole prints of common shoes. With this, it is possible to identify the type of shoes that the assailants were wearing at the time of the crime. Now you might be thinking, how can this information be used to identify a suspect beyond reasonable doubt? It can't. Even if you were to find a match to a suspect, the argument against will focus on the commonness of that shoe style and size. However, we might be able to find a link to another case. How many criminals do you think know to change your shoes before committing a crime? This is important in cases where we might have limited evidence or a lack of suspects. The last detail, and perhaps my favourite, is the trace evidence. We often think about forensics as blood, DNA, fingerprints, but trace evidence such as material transferred from the bottom of a shoe to the floor, or in this case paper, can reveal a lot of information in regards to locations the assailant has worn the shoes. We will talk more about this when you enter into the first year Introduction to Forensic module. All in, a lot of information can come from simple footprints. That is why it is always important for scientists to see the small details in big pictures. This is a skill that we at GCU look forward to helping you develop.